shop day. Today I'm working on my radiator support. Cyrus is under the car. Put a new gas tank in the Caprice. And I think I'm going to work on recessing this. The last radiator support I did for an S10, the radiator was much smaller than this one. This is 26 inches. This one's 32. So it barely fits in between here. I don't even know if I need to do this, but I'm going to because I like the way that it looks better to have it flush with here. So I already set it in. I made some rough marks around here. The last one I did, I just cut off here and here and welded a piece of angle iron like this across the front to bolt the hood latch to. I think I might end up doing that on this one because the lines I have very close to this. I don't know if I'm going to cut all this. I think I'm going to drill out these spot welds first and try to make it look a little cleaner. Maybe still keep this top piece. I don't know, so we'll find out. This is the line that I made that I think the top of the radiator will clear. The last truck I had, I hacked off here and here and just put a piece of angle iron like I said before. I want this one to look more factory, more stock, so I'm going to just try to take this whole skin off of here. So I peeled a little bit back now that I got this cut, and you can see where the top is here versus down here. So if I can get this whole chunk of skin out, I'm going to cut the whole bottom here. I drilled all the spot welds out on the top. I'm going to try to take this whole chunk out and see if we can make more room to fit this radiator up in here. But it slants down in the front quite a bit, so my hopes aren't looking high. But if it doesn't work, I'll just cut it and show you guys how I did the other one. Well, doesn't look so sandblasted in there. Oh, we got a wasp nest.
Yeah, me. I win. Beat you, Bolt. Fucking beat you.
Got it? Cyrus over there putting the gas tank in right now. Well, try to clean up some of these crude cuts and.
I like to play it, but I win.
Everything's a hammer. That I don't think is wide enough. I think it's gonna be cut there. But we'll find out. Sharpie. Do a little more grinding. Now I'm just going to clean up these spot welds here. A little sharp. Battery's about dead. right on the spot weld. Getting there. Looks like I gotta take this little ledge off. And then I gotta drill the holes in the bottom of the support for the pegs. The nipples. So I got the holes drilled in the bottom on each side. This needs shaved a little more than this thing I think is gonna push in there. I'm gonna have to cut something out top for the filler. And also there's two little tabs sticking up for the old radiator rubbers that go underneath it, and I think I'll be mounting mine through bolts, so I think I'm going to pound those down and see if it fits. Well guys, I think it's going to fit. Let's see if I can. Right, I cut that thing out of there, so this is all going to clear after I put the holes in the bottom. And I'm thinking about capping this and just tucking it in there without the hole and putting a fill on the upper hose. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, it fits. Inside of there and still keeping the factory top without cutting it off. Boy, she's close. Man, that was... Oh, this is sticking out though. What is hitting? Oh, this is hitting. So I think regardless, I don't have no room on the bottom, so I am gonna have to cut this out, which is probably easier for the whole fill thing. So I'm gonna figure that out now, get that cut, check back with you. Here it is so far. I had to pound these tabs back down that used to keep the factory rubber in place. I drilled a hole on each side for the little tang on the bottom of the radiator. And when I'm telling you it's a tight fit, I even had to shave, there's these little uprights that come out right here, and I had to shave all that out of there. The two bolts coming through for the hood latch, I had to shave them clear back. I think it's gonna fit. This is what I ended up cutting out of the top. So here's what we're left with, or finished with, I guess. I did have to cut this out, which I'm gonna flapper wheel and make it kind of roundish. Then I'm gonna put some like vacuum hose or something, split it, and it'll go around, you know, all the sharp edges, clean up all the rough cuts after it's painted. Got the holes drilled in the bottom. For those little feet, as you see, I need to pick up some rubber grommets to go around those, or rubber washers, something from the hardware store, because my last one I just used cut up radiator hose, and I want this one to look a little better. But it's fit, and it's tight. I mean, that's that close on this side, and same on this side. It's, and I'm gonna use the front bolts, as you can see in there. I drilled holes right here to mount it from the front, and might have to take that down a little bit, but all in all, that gained me quite a bit of room recessing it in case I ever want to put a turbo or anything like that in it, mostly just for a turbo, because before it would sit, well, here I can show you how it sat before. So before, the radiator sits out here, and then about right like that, out in front of this little stand out here. So I'm gonna get it clear back and recessed it in, so it's clear inside of it, behind that, and it looks really good, I think. So next time you see it, it'll probably be already mounted up, and this radiator support will be painted, because I think we're doing that today. Well, that's what she looks like, guys. It's recessed in there. It's bolted in through these top holes. The bottoms are going to be those little pegs that hold it in. And she's recessed behind here. A little dusty. So on the front, whoops. The front, you can see how it's just right. It just matches that line perfect on both sides where the tanks are. And then where I cut out top, I said I would put that rubber around it. So that all works. Makes it look a little better. So now we just gotta wire that in. I'll just run it with the headlight harness that already runs right across here on these S10s. And just run the fan wires in through it up to the wiring harness. But I think it turned out pretty good. It's not a how-to, but surely you can take home something from it and do it your own way. Also, on the note of cutting this whole top off, like I said, and putting this angle iron here across, I'm going to walk out and show you. It's dark outside, so hopefully I'll find a light. And I'll show you how I did my last one and how I kind of crudely mounted it from the sides. It's kind of dark out here in the barn, but here's the old V8 S10 that I built some years ago. Boy, does it get dusty in this barn. This whole interior and engine bay is painted just beautifully. But boy, I mean, it's a dirty boy in the barn. Anyway, on this last one, you see where I told you I cut right across the tops of these on the radiator support. Then I just welded this piece of angle iron clear across the front, and I drilled 2 holes that way I could still bolt the hood latch up to it, because I still have a steel hood. So that's a really easy way. Just ignore the goober aluminum welds. Guess I could show you. That's how this one was. It's just welded some angle iron to the side of the tank and then bolted it up with some rubber grommets between them. I made that fan shroud out of a barbecue grill off the curb. Yeah, I could have been a little better on the spacing of the rivets. There'll be more on this on the channel too. It's a 283. It's like a 10-to-1. It screams 8,000 RPM. It's got a 4-speed manual in it. But that's what I wanted to show you guys, that if you got the smaller radiator like this 26-inch ones, this is another way to do it. But I wanted to keep this whole stock upper part of the radiator support on this one, just make it a cleaner look. But that's going to do it with this video, guys. Like and subscribe, and wait for updates on the Blazer. And there's a lot of Caprice updates coming. We got all sorts of parts for it, and aiming to start it up this month, I think. So check you later.